What's up, everyone? Hope you're all taking care of yourselves and each other. And today I'm doing something a little different. Instead of bringing a guest on, I'm here talking about an idea I had about city residencies for touring artists. Now, before I get into the details, these are artists that are doing arena shows, stadium shows, and amphitheater shows. And if you're like me, I can't afford to spend two, three, $400+ on a show anymore. Not especially one Warp Tour DC was $150 for me for 2 days, and Riot Fest was like 370 last year for 3 days, and I got a chance to see Blink 182 and Green Day. So me spending that kind of money on just one show makes no sense logically and financially. Now, have you ever wondered where your money goes? Why these tickets are so expensive? And have you ever questioned how expensive it is to tour? And that's where I'm going to go into a little bit. Before I get into the numbers, I do want to say this is me Google searching. I do not have physical numbers from a tour. So these numbers, take them with a grain of salt, but at the same time, I do think that there's some truth in the salt. So let's kind of get into it. For the average bus cost rental, it is anywhere from $10,500 to $21,000 a week. There's also the hidden cost of fuel, driver pay, driver hotels. If you need to rent a trailer for that, and also the mandatory weekly pay to clean the bus, service the bus, and do waste removal. That price completely sticker shocked me. I didn't understand how expensive tour buses were until I saw that number, and I thought that was a joke, and it's not. Lighting cost. This is also video walls and audio is anywhere from $30,000 to $150,000 a week. Now, for video walls is anywhere from $10,000 to $35,000 a week. Lighting is anywhere from $20,000 to $50,000 a week. Stage and rigging is anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000. Audio is anywhere from $15,000 to $40,000. And then there's also union costs that you have to factor in that I do not know those numbers. That is something that is taken up with management. And if you didn't think that was bad enough, the semi cost is anywhere from $10,500 to $17,500 per truck per week. That adds up very quick. I did the math really quick with two tour buses, the middle of the road $75,000 package for lighting, and 8 semi trucks. It costs over $800,000 a week in just rental gear. That's not employees. That is not anything else. That is just renting that gear. And now you wonder why your tickets are $200, $300, $400, if not more. And in today's economy, I don't know who can afford that really. I mean, I'm struggling to put food on my table, and I'm just a single person. It's absolutely insane. And I know that the independent music scene is hurting just as much as anyone else. And that's where I want this to come back to the independent scene. And for my example, I want to use Town Ballroom in Buffalo, New York as the venue. It is a independent music venue from Live Nation. It's a 1,200 cap venue, and it is truly one of the best venues. If you haven't been there, I highly recommend that you go if you're ever in the Buffalo, New York area. But by doing this, the first thing that the fans get to feel less burden of is you're bypassing the monopoly fees. So the Ticketmaster and Live Nation, screw you guys. You're not getting any of this money, which because of that, we're avoiding the heavy service fees, which makes tickets more affordable for the fans. Like that alone is a huge win for us. And then now on the band side, you're slashing production, leaving behind all that money, that $800,000+ to rent that gear for a week. You're cutting most of that out because you don't need it. You're playing in a 1,200 cap venue that has house lights. If like that is enough. I would love to see bands like Foo Fighters, Incubus, Green Day, Slipknot, you name it. We can even bring hip hop and pop bands in there. Lizzo, Miley Cyrus, any of them. If they came to Town Ballroom and did a week-long residency doing 5 shows and charged anywhere from $100 to $125 a ticket, I would do whatever I could to get a ticket because that would be an experience that's worth that money. Now, besides saving money for the fans, saving money for the artists, cutting down on production, all that, the mental health side of things for fans and for anyone who's touring. Touring, I have never been on a tour. I want to. It is a dream of mine. But everyone that I've talked to does say that the touring life does take a toll on you mentally and physically. So being able to sleep in a hotel for a week to 10 days in one city, I feel like the exhaustion mentally and physically is going to bring a different vibe for them. They're going to be more energized to do it, and they're going to be more excited and happy and relaxed. And that's also for the bands. And then for the fan side of things, with these small intimate venues, you're not doing the hit and run, quote unquote hit and run with these tours where you were doing say 20 dates in a month, where it is you go in, you load up, you do sound check, you get a couple hours to do whatever, and then you come back, you do the show, and you fly out to the next city. You're not doing that. Now you can go hang out at a restaurant all day, support the local scene, and then do the show, have fun afterwards, go hang out in the front area with the crowd. Like, that sounds incredible for the fans and for you guys, because you get to build that new connection. You get to build a deeper connection that you once had. And I do think a lot of these bands need to go back to that. And speaking about that connection, to even double down on it all, is the grassroots of it all. Like, if you support independent venues, you're keeping dollars in the local ecosystem rather than the corporate pockets, aka the fuck you give me money mentality of these corporate greedy bastards. On top of that, you can have competition. You can hire local openers. You can book local photographers, videographers, rent extra gear from local shops if you want to, but you can do this in, like, what band would say no to this? And artists in general, say Foo Fighters, they did a show and you had Buffalo bands all lined up and submitted, you had one day to submit. What band would be like, no, you got to give me money to open up for the Foo Fighters? I would take that in a heartbeat. And same with photography and videography. If they had competitions, and as much as I don't like doing work for free, but the opportunity to have the shoot Foo Fighters or insert band wherever in Town Ballroom, a small intimate venue, I would do that for free in a heartbeat, because that is going to build connections with the community for me and with the bands as well. Like, there's a win-win on that. Yes, I'm not making money, but that can come longer down the road. This is just giving back, and that's what needs to happen more and more in today's world. Now, with the bands, I will still always reference Foo Fighters, Green Day, whatever, insert band. They could also do pop-up shows at the smaller venues, Mohawk Place, a 200 cap venue, or Rec Room, which is a 500 cap venue, both independent from Live Nation. Do venues, do pop-up shows there. Have fun with it, and also support the charities around the area. Like, how to build deeper connections with fans is by doing all this. And yeah, they need to do this. I feel more and more that this needs to happen. And I don't know how it can happen, who needs to hear it. And maybe it's the artists and their managers that are just as greedy as Ticketmaster and Live Nation want to be like, hey, I want to make $1 million every show. So that's also part of the reason why your tickets are so expensive. Maybe that is the case, and I hope it's not. But maybe if they just made a little less of the money, not all of the money, and do this where you're going to have intimate shows, you're going to have these incredible moments all the time, that maybe giving up some of the money, that will make up for it. And then you question yourself, how is this possible? Well, the proof is in the pudding, as much as I hate to say that, but the proof is there, because November of last year, the Google Dolls did 2 charity shows at Town Ballroom, hence why I used it as a venue reference, for Feed More Western New York, the charity for the Open Door Mission for Food. In those 2 shows, they raised $150,000 to help feed vulnerable people in Western New York. That is incredible. I shot the show. I shot night 2 of the show, and I did a report, a concert write-up on a review, which you can check it out at Rock DNA magazine. And it was one of the best shows I've ever been a part of. The atmosphere was incredible. People were just happy to be there, and people were so nice to me. And I always make this joke of, as a photographer, the heavier the show, the nicer the crowd is. The lighter the music, the harder it is for me to get shots, because the crowd is that, like, how dare you be here and take this spot? And I'm not even trying to take their spot. I'm literally trying to, like, go there for 5 to 10 seconds to take my shot and then continue moving and just wander around. But they were so nice. The crowd was so nice. They were all incredible. And on top of it, the fact that they raised $150,000 to help people who needed it, that has to be worth something right there. Because for me, going to shows, and I think a lot of people are like this, going to shows is a way to release the stress, the anger, depression, whatever you're going through. That is 3 hours of just releasing it all and forgetting about it. and being a part of whatever, 1,000 people, 1,200 people screaming to a song. I don't know these people. We are strangers. But in that venue, we are one and we are screaming the lyrics back. And that's what that night was. It was absolutely incredible to have my mom also finally see me do what I do. I think she realized how important it is for me to be a part of this community. And why I want it so bad is because I am the happiest, I am my truest self at a concert with a camera in hand. And I think that's where this all needs to come back to is bands, yes, you can make millions of dollars doing these shows and you can spend millions of dollars in rental gear. I'm not going to always argue it. Some people love that and want to pay for that experience. And I can't hate them on that. But for me, with today's economy, and I'm not going to get into politics, I can't afford that. No one can. I don't think nobody can really. And the fact that there's layaway options, the APR stuff on tickets is absolutely insane. I saw that during the playoffs for NBA and NHL. So I don't know if they're doing it for concerts, but I did see that for that. And I thought that was absolutely insane that people are doing payment plans to go to a hockey or sporting event. Or if it is in the concert industry, what the fuck? Like, what are you guys doing? You need to be better with your financials. So, yeah, that's all I got. And if I'm nuts, please let me know in the comments. If I'm onto something, please definitely let me know in the comments. And if there is a band that you would want to see who does these stadium festivals and they're headlining festivals, they're doing the stadium shows, arena shows, and you want to see them in an independent venue, let me know in the comments as well, because I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Now I got to do my little spiel of, if you like what you hear, please consider liking the video, subscribing, sharing the video, spreading the word. I'm going to start doing videos once a week on stuff like this, of just things that I find interesting. And if you like interviews, check out some of the interviews that I have with artists like Frank and Nicole Alexis, just to name a few. And so, yeah, that's my spiel. I hope this actually becomes a real thing, because I think a lot of people would love this. And till next time, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I'll see you in the pit.